Hey everyone, I'm Red Pill Mormon. So I wanted to talk about some mistakes that I made in my early ministry back in 2016, or maybe it was before that. So I was trying to figure some stuff out with the abomination of desolation because in Daniel chapter 12 it talks about the power of all the holy people being scattered. And in 2013, on July 15th, I was asked by the Father to use the authority that He gave me in 2003 when I saw Him face to face to raise my arms to the square and to sever the priesthood and the ordinances of all the holy people. And I believe part of the reason for that was it has to be a hard reset in order to set the house of God in order, as spoken of in Daniel Doctrine and Covenants, chapter 85. Uh, but when I asked, because I was surprised that Heavenly Father asked me to do that, and I asked, why do you want me to do this? And he said, because if they will not accept you as my witness, I will not accept them. So I did what he asked me to do. And a couple months later, I think it was like the next month or 4 or 6 weeks or something like that. Oh, I told my aunt about it immediately, but and my aunt actually, before God revealed to me who I am, she kept telling me, "You are the one mighty and strong," and I was like, and this is back in the fall of 2012, and I kept telling her, "No, I'm just, I've had these experiences, but like, I'm just a witness. I'm not mighty and strong." And like, I think the spirit was trying to tell me, well, I think, because like I kept getting this, um, the still small voice, nothing big, but it would say the same thing, and I was like, no, get thee behind me, Satan. I'm not special. I'm just, like, yeah, I have had these experiences, but like I'm not special. And um, in January of 2013, that's when the Father told me to kneel down before Him and ask Him who I am, because I wouldn't listen to her, and I wouldn't listen to the still small voice. So He told me, and He showed me. But anyway, so Um, I did the thing, raised both my arms to the square after the manner of the Melchizedek priesthood, near Bliss, Idaho, and I near the Snake River, and then whatever. But my aunt found this revelation in Daniel chapter 12, which I had probably read over multiple times, but never really thought about it. Like in the last days, Michael will stand up, and then it talks about this man clothed in linen, which I believe I believe that it means that he is a pure individual that God chooses as his servant to do this thing. And the holy people would be the people of the restoration, and the power is the priesthood. And when it says it is scattered, it should say it was severed, because that's what Heavenly Father told me to do. So, anyways, so then I'm like just trying to figure out like what all this revelation means. And in Daniel chapter 12, um, it talks about the abomination of desolation, and it gives a time count. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, if I did that then, and this is supposed to happen, like, and this is part of the same revelation, what is going on here? So I started counting it out, and I came to, I think it was January of 2017, doing the day count. And I was like, okay, well, which is interesting because that's when President Trump became president of the United States. And like before um, he became president, like he was a Democrat, and I didn't trust him. I felt like he was a turncoat, or maybe he was asked by the deep state to do certain things. And now I don't believe that anymore, but I still hold him at arm's length. I'm happy that he gets, I do like his policies, and I cannot support Democrats because, like, we're supposed to, like, hate sin and shun sin, and people who support open rebellion against God and His children, especially with abortion, I just can't support them. But so I can't support the Democrats, and I'm very uh, leery about Republicans in general, or politicians in general. But anyway, so the day count comes out to, I think it was like February of 2017. So anyway, so I believed that the abomination of desolation would happen at that time, and I believed, and I still believe, that the abomination of desolation is where the church is either forced or complies with sealing same-sex marriages in the temple. And I believe that that would happen in 2017. And now there's no evidence that it didn't happen, but that would be the abomination of desolation. So I talked about those things, and I even wrote those things. Um, and I believe that part of the abomination of desolation would begin uh, like the downfall of the United States. And I was like trying to figure out, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Well, God in 2016 told me to move to Emery County, Utah, and He told me, to remain in this place where I live now, actually, um, until it got too dangerous to remain. And He told me to go to this place up in the mountains, and then go down into this place in the desert. So I'm like, okay, so I guess we're going to all be going into the wilderness at this point. But that time came, and you know, it, nothing happened. So 2013, 2014, 15, 16, 17 would be 3.5 years in January. I think it was January. Anyway, I had it all figured out. Now I'm not entirely sure that didn't happen in the temple, and I'm not entirely sure um, that the abomination of desolation didn't happen, and that started a time of darkness. Um, and I actually talked about this in my old programs, the time of darkness that would come, and um, so 2013 to 2017 would be the time of warning, and then the time of darkness would come. And I thought it would last 3.5 years. Well, that time has come and gone, and we're still here and everything. But I do know that God told me the time of darkness. But then later on, I realized, God stopped giving me, thus saith the Lord, revelations for the most part in 2017. And I believe, but I'm not sure, that we're in the 30 minutes of silence spoken of in the book of Revelation. So, I don't know if I was right about the, the day count. I think it was like 1,760 days, the way I tried to figure it out. Um, I don't know. I do know that after I severed the ordinances of all the holy people, that's when things started going really downhill, and there was a great shift in society. Um, and that's when transgenderism started getting really big. That's when, um, in 2015, that's when, um, like, same-sex marriage became a thing. So, also, hold on here. Um, there was a man that I was told to set him apart as the patriarch of the Church of Living Messiah, which is the work of the Father on the earth. And um, one of the revelations he received was um, that when I did what I did, it began like severing the power or the priesthood and the ordinances actually began the time where God withdrew his protection, um, and there were spiritual plagues unleashed on the earth. And that those spiritual plagues would start out in a spiritual way, but then there would be physical plagues that would come along after it, and it would start off slow, and it would, kind of like the birth pains and all of that. So I believe that revelation was correct, but I did not receive that revelation. That was another individual who has since fallen. I believe he's a fallen prophet. And I actually kept telling him, like, you've got to check your revelations to make sure that they're from God, um, or you're going to be a prophet of the adversary, you know. And I kept trying to teach him how to get confirmation of the Spirit, you know, but he wouldn't listen to me. And now he is in prison, actually, I think for like 26 years to life or something. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, like when I was, I try to figure things out according to what I have been given, and I never got a confirmation on that, which is something I should have done. But it's one of the reasons why I don't give dates anymore, because unless God tells me, thus saith the Lord on January 15th, 2025, President Trump will be assassinated, and J.D. Vance will become the 48th president of the church. Not the church, the nation, and that Kamala Harris would that she and her cohorts would use the 24th or 25th Amendment to depose President Biden so that she could become the first black woman president. Which is something I'm like, oh, maybe that'd be interesting if that happened. But I don't know, because I haven't been given God's witness on that. I haven't received a spiritual confirmation. So I'm not going to say that that's going to be a thing, because I just don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't know. God's revealed to me many things, but there's a lot of things that I don't know. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Maybe it was a mistake for me to name dates. I think it's a mistake for anyone to name dates. But when you're trying to figure these things out and you're like trying to use the puzzle pieces that you have, sometimes you don't have all of the puzzle pieces. And unless, unless God reveals a specific date, you shouldn't use it. Now, John Coyle, like he would name dates. At least one time, he was an early resident of Spanish Fork, Utah, and he actually did name the date of the beginning of the Great Depression. And the prophetess Jean Dixon's like, wow, like nobody names dates, but you did, and you got this right. Well, that's because God revealed it to him. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm a human. I make mistakes. I need the redemption and the atonement of Jesus Christ just as much as everyone else, even though I have been foreordained for certain roles. And maybe it's an opportunity for people to forgive me, or maybe you can look at this and say, well, obviously that guy's a Judas goat. And that's another thing. If I am a Judas goat, well, God did reveal to me a lot of things. And the witnesses, the things that He has shown me, they did happen. But if I'm a Judas goat, then God is the one that put me in this place to be a Judas goat. And maybe I am, you know, doing this so that God can see who just outright rejects me right off the bat without looking into it. You know, either way, I am a judgment to the people. God is using me as a judgment to the people. So anyway, I gotta go. Gotta go. I'm about to get on the pavement, and I gotta go put my steerable tag axles down. So, thank you for watching, everyone. Take care. God bless, and goodbye.